to 10-Minute Marks, episode 6. Once again, I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to discuss the Royal Rumble and also the feud between Bret and Vince and some other related things regarding the Hart Dynasty and John Cena. But first off, we're going to start with the Royal Rumble. Got two things to say, actually. One of them not related to wrestling. First of all, I want to quickly congratulate the New Orleans Saints for winning the Super Bowl. They deserved it after the whole Katrina stuff. So enjoy it. Be safe when you're drinking and all that stuff, but enjoy it.
And I thought it was really cool that they didn't tear up the town like a certain Denver did when they won the Stanley Cup 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool that New Orleans actually stick to the streets and partied and enjoy it. You guys definitely deserve it. And congratulations.
And secondly, I want to congratulate myself a little bit. Edge won the Royal Rumble. And although I give, Jeff agreed with me too. I called it. Edge won the Royal Rumble. And that's what we're going to talk about now, Jeff.
All right, the 2010 Royal Rumble. I thought it was a good show. I thought they're doing a lot of original and interesting things with the storylines coming out of it. Like he said, Edge won, which was awesome. I thought the Rumble itself was really good. And for the first time in God knows how long, nobody came back after being eliminated and eliminated somebody else. Everybody that was eliminated legitly. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. I thought the whole Beth Phoenix and Great Khali, the way she eliminated him, I thought that was great. I liked CM Punk's beginning, how he used the mic to his advantage in between wrestlers, and then Triple H came out and just hit him a beat down. I thought that was great. Mm-hmm. The only part I didn't like about the Royal Rumble was the Orton-Sheamus match, and that was the fact that Cody Rhodes mistimed his entrance to where the referee is basically looking right at him when he comes up and does the interference on the part of Orton. I thought that was kind of iffy, kind of poorly done. I imagine they did it that way on purpose, but to me that was just a lousy ending to a really good match otherwise. But otherwise, I give the Royal Rumble 2 thumbs up, and look forward to WrestleMania.
And speaking of WrestleMania, there's one possible match that I'm definitely looking forward to. Now, on this show, we were covering Bret Hart's return and how excited we were and how he made up with Shawn, but however, he's feuding with Vince.
Right.
Of course, when Edge came onto Raw, he didn't decide who was going to be his opponent. He was going to wait till after the Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
But I bring it to that point because that particular Raw, of course, Bret came back. And William Shatner was the guest host, and Bret confronted Vince. And I loved his promo because I was wondering if he was going to bring his stroke situation from several years ago into it. Mm-hmm. And that was the only time the crowd really popped huge for it, when he said that was the last time he ever wanted to feel pathetic. And otherwise, it was really good because he beats up Vince after Vince insults Stu, Hart, his dad.
Exactly.
And he's going to put him in the structure, and then Batista comes out and kind of beats up on him. Vince spits him in the face. And I read online that Cena made the save after Raw went off the air. So anyway, and of course the following week, Cena confronts Vince and basically tries to goad him into doing a match between Vince and Bret at WrestleMania. And of course Bret comes out and beats up on him a bit, and then of course Vince goes, "Oh, you deserve to be screwed. I'm going to say no to your match." So he said no.
After he said yes.
After he said yes. Which was great because he said that about Stu Hart being in the Hall of Fame, and then he backpedals again. Right. So they're doing this whole backpedal thing, making you want it. See, it makes me want it even more to see him in the sharpshooter and to see Stu Hart go into the Hall of Fame. And just the storyline is great. And anyone who says the storyline sucks for whatever reason, you're dumb. I love how they're building up everything. It's old school wrestling, how I'm just going to say I grew up on, but also Jeff grew up on. Right. So,
I'm more older schooler than he is.
That's true. That's true. But, and also they were talking about online, possibly it might be a tag match with, Bret and Cena versus Vince and Batista, or if Bret's healthy enough, then Bret will do the singles match against Vince.
Which I think the idea has also been brought up, that Cena versus Batista with Vince and Bret in corners. Kind of like what they did with Umaga and Bobby Lashley a couple years ago. And I don't think that's going to go over too well with the crowd as much as a tag team match would.
Right.
If Bret can't go in a singles match, I think the fans would be very happy with the tag team match where Bret just doesn't have to work as much, but he can still get his point across.
Right.
And I think that would work a lot better than, you know, Cena versus Batista with 2 men in the corner just hanging out and waiting until the end.
Yeah.
So I hope it's a singles match between Bret and Vince, but if it's a tag match, then that's fine too.
Absolutely. The only other thing I wanted to discuss that was a little kind of weird was I've had mixed feelings with Cena being in Bret's corner or involved somewhat into his storyline. I understand why they're doing it because Cena's one of the top names of the company, and he's also a guy that is kind of the PG-rated hero to the fans, or to the kids. And much like when Bret was up until his feud with Shawn during the DX era, that's a different story. But anyway, Cena's the poster boy of WWE, and he's clean, he doesn't do drugs and everything like that. So I could see that part of the equation. The other part of the equation, it just seems kind of shoehorned to me. They kind of forced him into it, and you could have someone like Edge, who was trained by Bret, or the Hart dynasty involved instead. They haven't done anything in the storyline that makes me say, well, Cena is the better choice. I'm 100% on his side that he should be teamed with Bret. But why should he be when you have so much history with Edge and so much history with the Hart dynasty? And that part I'm a little bit leery on.
And Chris Jericho as well.
Oh, and Chris Jericho, absolutely.
And the thing is with us, it's not the fact that Cena is not talented enough as a wrestler. That's, you know, we don't think he is, but that's not the point.
That's not the point.
The point is we want somebody, we think there should be somebody in there with some history with Bret Hart, or maybe at least a Canadian.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, like he said, Edge, who trained, Jericho, who trained in the dungeon.
Yeah.
How you cannot include the Hart dynasty in this is beyond me.
I
mean, it would give the Hart dynasty a needed push.
Yeah.
And a, you know, I don't want to say necessary, but a much deserved push.
Right.
I mean, they're apparently, you know, this Tyson Kidd was the last one trained by Bret, and D.H. Smith is actually related to Bret.
Well, he's British Bulldog's son.
And Natalya Neidhart is related to Bret. So how do you not include them? And you know, again, we want to emphasize, it's not because Cena lacks the talent, it's just he has no real connection.
It has nothing to do with any beef with Cena.
Right. It's just the fact that you got so many other characters in the WWE that have ties to Bret somehow. To me, I would much rather see it to where Batista wins at the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
Edge comes out and challenges Batista the night after on Raw or SmackDown, or however you want to do it. Seeing how Batista's already involved with the storyline with Bret, you have an easy way for Vince McMahon to come out and say, I'm on Batista's side, I'm going to represent him in the match.
Yeah.
And then either that night or the week after, you have Bret come out and support Edge.
Yeah.
Because of their history of Edge being trained, because they're both Canadian, and because of the fact that Edge respects Bret so much because he is Canadian, and he's seen him way back when in the 90s, or at WrestleMania 6, which we all know Edge was at.
Yeah.
To me, that's the way I would like to see it go down. And then put Cena somewhere else, like in a WWE title match with Triple H or something.
Yeah.
You can still find something else for Cena to do and still have time to build it up. But that's the way I would like to see it go.
Plus you have that history, that whole history involved with the title. And it makes the main event more important.
Right. If you put the title involved, then it does. It makes the main event more important. And if you want to get Bret and Vince involved and have a tag team match with the title on the line, I think that'd be plausible too.
Oh yeah.
I don't think fans would have much of a problem with that. You know, whoever wins gets, if Edge and Bret win, or Bret pins Vince, then Edge gets the title.
Yeah.
I think that would work as well as about anything. And if Bret wants to come back after WrestleMania, like I think a lot of fans would like to see him stay after WrestleMania, have him manage the Hart dynasty. And I know it's been said a lot of times on Facebook, and it's a good point though. And another reason I think that Edge and Batista should face off is with Edge and Batista having that match next week, that would help build up to the WrestleMania match. You could use that as a way to build it up. especially after that awesome Batista promo that he did. And I'm not being sarcastic about that. The way he came out, walked around the ring, didn't say a word, didn't explain anything, basically saying, F you fans, I don't owe you any explanation for anything. I thought that was brilliant. And it just goes to show another way of saying 1,000 things without saying anything at all. And to me, that was brilliant. The way he just didn't explain anything about his actions last week and keep us wondering about why he just walked out of the match. I mean, that's brilliant to me.
Stay tuned for episode 7. We're going to go more in depth into John Cena. Be sure to check the links that way and leave any comments.
Yeah, hello.
If you don't like the storyline, you're dumb.